How I Healed My Mother's Skin Cancer at Home. By Kyneret Azzio. Coconut baking soda. For the last 3 years, my mother had been suffering with a type of skin cancer called basal cell carcinoma. This is the less aggressive form of skin cancer, deemed as non-life-threatening by the medical industry, in contrast to the more malignant form of skin cancer known as melanoma. The basal cell first began as a small red lesion on the crown of my mother's head. It would start to bleed, then scab, then bleed again and then scab more. The scab continued to grow, and over the course of 3 years it nearly quadrupled in size. Not only did it grow wider, but it grew higher as well. Unfortunately, it took this long before my mother finally decided to go to the doctor. She was referred to a dermatologist by her GP. A biopsy was done and the lesion was confirmed as cancerous. At the initial consultation, the dermatologist said what every doctor says: there is no cure for basal cell carcinoma, but we can surgically remove it. He couldn't guarantee that it wouldn't return. Regardless, she scheduled an appointment to have it removed. Not too long after the surgery, the basal cell returned, this time with a vengeance. It seemed to grow much quicker, and within 2 weeks after the surgery the bleeding and scabbing was back again. It was extremely frustrating to witness this, and I truly felt powerless over the matter. I made the decision to go to the dermatologist with my mother on her next visit, and I was prepared to ask him a plethora of questions, my first question being, what the heck is this thing? That is when I learned the medical term for this type of skin cancer. Taking matters into our own hands. Equipped with the term basal cell carcinoma and Google, I researched everything I could about it, including natural treatments. I recalled reading some articles about how sodium bicarbonate, or baking soda, has a high success rate with various types of cancers, so I looked into the topical use of baking soda on basal cells. Surprisingly, I found quite a few personal testimonies from people who had healed a basal cell completely, using just baking soda and water. Cancer cannot thrive in an alkaline environment. And that's exactly what baking soda produces. My mother had the basal cell removed surgically twice more before she finally let me try the baking soda treatment. And 5 weeks ago is when this treatment began. I modified the concoction by using coconut oil instead of water, as raw organic coconut oil helps in the regeneration of skin cells. I mixed 1 part baking soda and 1 part coconut oil, a teaspoon of each, in a shot glass and stirred it up until it became a malleable paste, which is what I applied to the affected area. The results were truly astonishing. Please keep in mind that starting at an early age my mother began to experience hair loss. However, as a result of less hair it was much easier to apply the treatment, and the effect of the treatment was more visible. 1. February 13th Day 1. 2. February 17th Day 5. 3. February 18th Day 6. 4. February 23rd Day 11. 5. February 26th Day 14. 6. March 2nd Day 18. 7. March 6th Day 22. 8. March 22nd Day 38. 1. February 13th Day 1. On the first night after 2 applications during that day, the entire scab fell off on its own. The area was very tender, and the basal cell was revealed as a fleshy bulb of skin that would easily bleed when even minimal pressure was applied. 2. February 17th Day 5, the basal cell started to shrink in size. The area around where the scab had been was all flaking, but the coconut oil was helping to clear all the dead skin away. 3. February 18th Day 6, the basal cell had completely disappeared, and there was no more bleeding. 4. February 23rd Day 11, the skin where the basal cell had been was very tender, so we applied polysporin at night to allow for healing and prevent infection. 5. February 26th Day 14, the open wound where the basal cell had been was starting to get smaller. 6. March 2nd Day 18, the affected area began patching itself up, closing up the wound. The area was still very tender and sore, so we stopped using the baking soda and coconut oil and applied polysporin instead. 7. March 6, day 22, the wound had closed up entirely. We thoroughly cleaned the area and gently picked away all the leftover dead skin. 8. March 6, present, the skin surface has remained clear of the basal cell. For now I am still continuing to apply the baking soda and coconut oil every day, along with apple cider vinegar soaked cotton pads that I place over the area to reach the basal cell root. My mother will be scheduling regular follow-ups with her doctor, as well as another biopsy. How to make the treatment yourself. All you will need is raw organic coconut oil, the brand I used was Artisana. Aluminum-free baking soda, can be purchased at any holistic health food store. A shot glass, to effectively stir the mixture within. Something to stir the mixture with, like the narrow handle of a small metal spoon. Polysporin 333 antibiotics, or any other antibiotic ointment to apply at night. Stir 1 part baking soda and 1 part coconut oil in a shot glass until it becomes a malleable paste that is easy to apply. It helps to apply a bit of warmth to melt the coconut oil faster, so if you are using metal to stir the mix, let it run under hot water for a bit and then use it to stir. Use something sanitary and preferably disposable to apply the mixture to the affected area. Do not rub it in. Gently slather the area with the paste and let it remain there for as long as possible. You can apply a large band-aid over the area so the mixture stays in place. Aim for 3 applications a day for the first week, and 2 for the second week moving forward. Make sure to properly clean the affected area before each application. Don't forget to take pictures so you can keep track of the progress for yourself. Please be aware that a basal cell has roots that reach much deeper into the skin than it appears. It is not just on the surface, therefore it is important to continue using the treatment much longer, even when the skin has fully patched up. Also make sure to have it assessed by a medical professional regularly and request a biopsy to be done in order to determine if there is any trace of the basal cell within the deeper layers of the skin. What we all learned from this experience. Looking back at the start of this whole experience, I realize that I was just as skeptical as most people with regards to a successful treatment that costs only a few dollars, not to mention one that is sitting in my kitchen pantry. I completely understand why a simple solution like baking soda and coconut oil would be cast aside in favor of a more sophisticated treatment. While I am by no means completely against mainstream or allopathic medicine, it is my opinion that we have been heavily conditioned by the medical industry to believe that we have absolutely no power over our own physical and mental health, and that the solutions and cures to our ailments lie far beyond our reach, that only a large sum of money can buy a cure. I can't stress enough that this is simply not true. Throughout the progress of my mother's healing, my whole family had experienced firsthand how effective an alternative treatment can be. Not only is it effective, it is affordable, safe, and free of side effects. Needless to say, my family's opinion on mainstream/allopathic medicine has shifted significantly. My hope is that people who are going through a similar experience can come to understand the power is in their hands to heal themselves. No one is going to spoon-feed us the truth about how we can heal using simple and affordable methods, especially not the medical industry. We must do our own research and reclaim our healing power. Blessings, Namaste and much love. Kyneret. While this worked for me, it may not work for everyone. This is not intended for medical advice. Anyone who reads this takes full responsibility for their actions, and neither myself nor Collective Evolution will be held liable for the statements made. Source: Collective Evolution. http://www.collective-evolution.com http://www.realpharmacy.com/how-I-healed-my-mothers-skin-cancer-at-home